Hello, and welcome to the Gigi Naturals Homestead channel. If you are catching this replay, hello, and a very special welcome to you, and welcome to those who are waiting in the chat. Hello. So glad to see you. Before we get started today, I want to make sure that you can hear me and that you can see everything is fine. If you'll go ahead and start dropping some nines in the chat, let me know, because I'm showing here that my internet signal may be a little bit janky. So if you are hearing me, go ahead and drop a nine in the chat to let me know that we are all good, that you can hear me, that you can see me. But welcome. So glad to have you watching if you are catching this replay. And I hope that you will grab a pencil, a piece of paper, so that you can take some notes if you're needing to take some notes. Like, we're going to be going over a lot of stuff. Like, my audience is wicked like that, y'all. So when you come in, make sure that you have something that you can write with, something that you can take some notes with that may be helpful in the after this video is over. Because listen, my audience, they give out information. This information that you're going to find here in the G Tribe, listen, it's serious. And this is some life-changing information that you're always going to get here with the G Tribe community. So welcome. Thank you, Chef Pam. First one in the building. Thank you, Chef Pam. So good to see you. Always good to see you cooking at Pam's Place. Pescatarian Gardener. Hello. Good evening to you. Welcome. It's so good to see you. Always good to see you in the chat. Thank you so much for being here. I see the 9 from you, Tammy. Let me know everything is well. Everything is okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being here always. My Renaissance Grandma. Hello, Lady V. How you doing? So good to see you in the chat. Thank you so much for being here. Grammy's Journal, welcome back. Hello. Thank you for being here. I'm so glad that you can hear. Everything is going well. Thank you. I hope everything is well in life as well. Hello, Gigi Naturals and everyone in the chat. Cassandra, South Fulton Garden. Let me say it again. Cassandra's South Fulton Garden. Hello, sis. How are you doing? Good to see you. So good to see you in the chat. Thank you so much for being here. James Franklin, 38 Things. How you doing? Good to see you. Hey, GG&G Tribe. How are you all, family? All doing well. Can't complain, won't complain. Listen, life is what you make it. So, hey, let's keep on moving. Let's keep on growing, right? Rambo Green Hands. Hello. How you doing, my brother? So good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. You looking good over there, Rambo Green Hands. Looking good. That garden is popping. I am liking what you're doing. Thank you so much for sharing. We appreciate you. Thank you for always being here. Really good to see you. Thank you. Hey, G Mama. How you doing, G Mama Grows? Hello, how are you? So good to see you always. Thank you so much for all that you do. I know I don't say it enough, but I really appreciate you, G Mama Grows. You are wonderful. You are a huge help and a huge support. And thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Hello, family. Hello. Ooh, seeing the green pop up, seeing the members popping in. Hey, members. Hey, J Tribe members. Hello, how you doing? Love Lady Gardening Project some more. Hello, how are you doing? So good to see you. I hope everything is going well over in Texas. You know what? I have not seen you in a while. I hope you are doing well. I hope you got on top of, them allergies. Girl, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Always a pleasure. Thank you. Hey, Natural Diva. Hello. How are you doing? Running errands, but listening. All right. So be safe out there. Be safe in these streets, honey. I know you are. Be safe out there. Thanks, Gigi. I appreciate being appreciated. Well, you are very, very appreciated, G Mama Grows. So I really do appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. I am so glad that it's 5 o'clock because it forced me to sit today. It forced me to sit down somewhere. I had to, I was running. I was running all day practically, and I'm literally just getting home in order to get set up and get prepped to come on and talk to you guys. I'm just getting prepped to come on and talk to you guys. So I was looking forward to it, and I was hoping that I was going to get home in time. Vision preparedness. Hello, hello. How are you doing? Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. Thank you. Also, really appreciating your channel. I can't believe that I wasn't subscribed to you. Like, we've been seeing each other all over the place, in the 2A community, on other people's live streams. And I cannot believe that I wasn't subscribed to your channel, but I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. So thank you for what you do. I really appreciate you. Appreciate your knowledge and your information. Some fantastic information that you give out. I really appreciate you. Um, who did I miss? Who did I miss? Homestead in the Hood. Hello, hello. How are you? Good to see you. Homestead in the Hood, you kind of got me with that video the other day, that Chinatown video. You kind of got me. And then when you start talking, I felt you. I felt where you were coming from. So thank you for all the information that you spread to the community, and all that you give. The information that you give is invaluable. So thank you. If nobody said thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate what you do. Love Lady says, I'm doing okay. Allergies the same, but managing. It's nice to be able to catch a live. Well, it's so nice that you're here. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Grace Guys, hello, hello, hello. Thanksgiving blessings. You erased it, Homestead in the Hood. I know. I understand. I understand. We knew it wasn't gonna be up for long, but I caught you. When I saw that notification pop up, I was like, let me see what sis talking about. But thank you. Thank you for all the information. Really appreciate it. Marina's grandma said, good. Thanks for asking, James. All right. All right. So let's go. Let's get started. Let's get started. So I wanted to talk a little bit to you guys because I know, like, we have some survivors out here. We have some people that are in the G Tribe community that really, like, I was not kidding when I said, get you a piece of paper, get you something, a pen to write with, because some of the people that are out here, James Franklin, vision preparedness, G Mama Grows is a veteran. So there are so many people that are in this community that really have a lot of valuable information. And so I was thinking about situational awareness, and particularly was thinking about women, because a lot of times we as women, we are not very aware of our surroundings. You got your pen and paper? I'm glad. I'm glad. A lot of us, we are not really aware of our surroundings. So just bear with me. Bear with me. Go with me on this. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Yes. Vision preparedness. Gotta have situational awareness. So, like women, we fantastic, right? Like, we're awesome, right? And so, you look at us, and you find us visually appealing, most people, right? Yeah, oh yes, let's go security check. Yes, yes. Natural Diva. Yes, Natural Diva. I'm telling you, you gotta come out to the property. Girl, listen, we don't have to go and do the shooting ranges anymore, Natural Diva. Me and Natural Diva, that was my shooting range partner. So we don't have to go to the ranges anymore. We can if we want to, but hey, 20 acres out here, sis. Come on, let's really get it popping. Like, listen, the nails. We love the nails, right? I don't have on earrings today, but we love the earrings. Like, we love the long hair. We love all of this stuff that's girl, right? And Invasion Preparedness says, but sometimes no clue what's going on around them. Absolutely. And I am saying that even being a woman, being one of those girls that love her nails, love her some makeup, love looking cute. Like, this is who we are. This is who we are made, right? And so that can get us in trouble sometimes. And so, naughty heathen. Oh, there's someone named. Okay, I got you, G Mama. I got you, G Mama. G Mama said naughty heathen, and I was like, yeah, I'm pretty much a heathen. I know it. I already know it. I'm pretty much a heathen. And that wouldn't have even been offensive. But I know that I saw somebody named Naughty Heathen. And so I'm assuming that they are in the chat. So hello and welcome, Naughty Heathen. Hello and welcome. Yep. Yep. Looking cute and a calling card for issues. That's right. That is absolutely right. So I was thinking about that there's so many situations that I have been in myself, right? And I really didn't realize, particularly when these things first started to come out. When they first started to come out, they still have my attention. Like, really, really bad. They still have my attention. And so I have to think when I am out and about. See there, I see Naughty Heathen. Hey there, Naughty Heathen. and see, when I'm out and about, I have to really think. I have to really stop and think, you know, drop it. Pay attention to what is happening around you. Let me tell you about a situation just the other night. I went to, it was right at dark. It wasn't even like, really, really dark, but it was dark enough to like need your headlights when you're driving, kind of thing. And so I went to a local store that is nearby me. And I was just going there just literally to, grab some lighter fluid, some charcoal, because yeah, it's cold here. It's been freezing, but we grill out year round, right? And so I was there. I pulled up to the store, and because now I am aware, because now I pay attention to what's going on around me, um, I don't just jump out of the car anymore and just be in a hurry to go anywhere. I stopped doing that. I stopped being in such a hurry for everything. When one day I was getting money. I was getting cash back from the register, from the checkout. I was getting cash back, and I had to use the bathroom. And so I was like, okay, we had been riding for a while, and I'm stopping in Walmart, and I was like, dang, I got to go to the restroom, but I needed to grab something, before I went in, because I was like, I don't know if I had torn my pants or something had happened to where I needed to get some new pants. And so I grabbed the pants. I went to the register, and I'm dancing a little bit because I'm like, hurry up, register. And I started to get cash back. And once I did that, the receipt came out. I grabbed the receipt and I hightailed it to the restroom. But guess what I forgot? my money that had been spit out after the receipt. um, it was $100. And listen, so I went to the bathroom and I'm using the bathroom and my blood just runs to my feet. And I'm like, oh my goodness. I left my money. The machine didn't give me my money. I left my money. It was very, very busy in the store that day. And so I went up to the lady who was manning the self checkout area. Okay. I went up to this lady and I was like, did somebody turn in my money? I was getting money and she was like, like, nope, nobody turned that money in, ma'am. And I was like, oh my gosh. And so I was like, can you call security, right? Because I just got $100 cash and I walked away because I had to go use the restroom. I walked away. And so I said, can you call security? Like, I want to see if like if somebody behind me took the money or if the cashier saw the money and took the money. Like, I just wanted to know who took it because I knew I wasn't getting it back. It was cash. So I knew I wasn't getting it back. So I wanted to know who took it, though. Make sure that the cashier, the person that was actually manning the self-checkout was not the one that took the money. Okay. And so they went and they checked the video and they were like, yep, there was a young man came up right behind you and he snatched that money up. He slipped it down in his pocket. So I was like, okay. They were like, he had a big box of baby diapers. And so I said to myself, let it go. Let it go. Because they couldn't really do anything. They couldn't see, the car he got into. They couldn't see any of that. And so that was one of the things that kind of made me just slow down. It really made me slow down and stop being in such a rush to do things. Use the bathroom or not, whatever. It really slowed me down. And so I just charged it to the game. I really did, because I was just like, well, if you had been going a little bit slower, and maybe that young man needed that money. He was buying baby diapers. Maybe he needed that money more than you needed that money at the time. And I was saying to myself, the angel was sitting on this side, the demon was sitting on this side, and I was like, oh, I want to find him. Like, I want my money back. But, it was what it was. And so we went on and went to the beach and just kind of took a load off, enjoyed ourselves. But the other night when I pulled up to the store, I don't jump out anymore. I don't jump out real fast. I just kind of pay attention. I watch a little bit to kind of see what's going on. And I saw this guy walking out of the store, and there was something in me that just said, don't move, don't get out. And he was walking very, very slowly. And it was don't move, just stay there. And it seemed like it took forever for him to walk past. I was driving my husband's truck, so it seemed like it took forever for him to just go ahead and just pass the truck, almost like he was waiting for. I know, at least it was baby diapers um okay, you letting it go, you'll get it back, and some, because baby diapers, he needed that money, that I just talked it up to that. And so went to and so this guy, there was just something that was off about him. Y'all know that there are a lot of people that are walking around that have mental health issues because they can't get the help that they need. A lot of people are out of work, or just choosing not to go to work, whatever the situation may be. A lot of people are losing their insurance. They can't go to their therapy appointments anymore. They can't go to their psychiatry appointments anymore. Um, and so they are out here. They're out here and they're in the street. And there's a lot of stress out here to coexist. I'll say it like that. We're out here to coexist with people who need get the help that they need. And so they're doing the best that they can, being out here trying to coexist with us, when a lot of us, we think that we're better. We think that we don't have any issues because their issues may be worse than our personal issues. When everybody goes through some sort of stress, everybody goes through at some point some sort of chemical imbalance that may throw them off at times, and need medications and that sort of thing. So, they're out here trying to coexist with us as well, right? Um, Gigi, that happened to me once, but I was lucky and went back to the ATM and my money was there. But I learned through it and never happened again. I bet you that. And I know you did. I know you did. I know you learned from that. I just saw one right outside the store, and I'm just waiting before I get out the car. I'm telling you, we gotta slow down, and we have to pay attention, because here's the thing. It's one thing. Hey, GT Junior, how you doing? Hey, Miss Anita, how are you doing? Yeah, desperation can make you do bad things, right? So, hey, Carbon Q, hello, how you doing? How you doing? So, there's one thing. It's one thing when you are, you got your man with you, right? And we get real bold. We get real bold, we get real cocky. Like when we have our man with us, right? Because we know that there's always going to be somebody who is there that has your back. Like we know that they gonna take the front row. They gonna be first on the line if anything tries to happen to you, right? At least for me, okay. Let me just speak for me. At least for me, I know that if Eco Neighbor is with me, like I'm real bold. I'm real bold, And I know that, hey, I got somebody with me that definitely has my back. Learning to grow my own. How you doing? Welcome, welcome. So good to see you. And so we do get real bold when we have them with us. But then we have to consider that they're not going to always be able to be with them. Look at naughty heathen talking about threaten me with a good time. Yeah, so we're really, we cocky when we have those men with us, because we know that somebody is going to have our back regardless, to how it happens. Somebody's going to have our back. And so, but we have to consider that they're not going to always be there. And so what are we doing? What are we doing in order to prepare for those times that they're not there, right? So, what are you doing, ladies? What are you doing to prepare for those times when they're not there? One of the things that we can definitely do, and I know I ain't by myself with this, we can definitely be working out. We can be lifting those weights. I hear a lot of women saying, "Oh no, I'm not going to lift weights because I don't want to look like a man." Well, you know, if you ain't looking like your daddy already, then lifting weights, like it's gonna make you stronger. It's not really gonna make you look like a man, right? Um, Hey, Rainbow Green Hands. Sometimes when you slow down, you can feel the negative energy where people give off, like they don't want to do something, but um, it's me or you in their mind. Yes, 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 yes. So true. So true. Don't get me started. I blew up the block. Yeah, yeah. I say that till I run into Kimbo Slice. Then you running. Well, nobody's invincible. That's one thing we know for sure, right? Not either. Nobody's invincible. Homestead in the Hood says, now that I'm up, out, and about by myself, I pick the time of day that I go out. Um, there does not seem to be much activity at 7 a.m. You know, that's smart. That's really smart. And not to say that, some stuff can't pop off at 7 a.m., but point well taken. Point well taken that, when we do get up, because like in certain areas, you have to like gauge what's happening in your area, right? Because there are some areas where nothing starts to happen until 11:30, 12 o'clock, right? And I know those areas well. Like nothing is happening until 11:30 or 12 o'clock. Then people are finally rolling over out of the bed. Hey, Cheryl Faulkner, how are you doing? It takes a lot for a woman to look like a man from working out. Facts. Right. If you ain't already looking like your daddy, girl, you ain't lifting weights is not gonna make you look like no man. Is going to give you, a little extra strength to be able to help yourself a little bit better, right? It'll give you something to go on where you're not just easily snatched up. At least you'll have a fighting chance. At least you'll have a chance not to get taken to a second location. That was one of the things that this gentleman who came on the Oprah show back in the days, I never have forgotten it. One of the things that he said when he was talking to women about paying attention to their surroundings so that they don't become victims. He said, don't ever allow yourself to be taken to a second location. And he said, because if you're out in a public place where people can see you, they're going to try to snatch you quickly. They're going to try to get you really quickly because they don't want to cause attention to themselves. So that's where your hardest fight needs to happen. Your hardest fight is going to need to happen at that time when someone approaches you. And so doing something like lifting weights, it's going to help you to at least be a little stronger. I remember when one of my daughters was in band, and I remember watching her toss the rifle. Like, she was in like the color guard, right? And I remember watching her toss the rifle. And I remember trying to toss the rifle when I was in high school myself. And I was like, because she was good. She was really good at it. And so I would see how high she could toss that rifle. And I was like, dang, like I thought I was strong as a youngster. But I'm looking at the way that she's tossing that rifle, and then that rifle is going up, who knows how high in the air, and then it's coming down and it's hitting her hand. Like, it took some strength to do that, to be able to pull that off. It took some strength. And so it was the simple things like, telling them, hey, if you have a gym, go to the gym. Because that little workout, that little lifting some 10-pound weights or some 15-pound weights can be the difference in you being to fight to go to the next location if somebody tries to physically attack you. Because let's keep it real. Most of us women, like, we can't beat up no man. The majority of us, we can't beat no man. A man is going to out strengthen you. They're going to be stronger than you in 99% of cases. The man is going to be stronger than you. So that means that you have to be smart. You have to do some things like go to the YMCA. Does anybody go to the Y? Has anybody taken classes for your everyday carry, your weapon? Anybody taking any classes? That stuff is really important because it can give you a fighting chance. Natural Diva said, I always sit facing the door when in public. I also practice quick descriptions in my head in case anything jumps off. Lastly, I identify exit strategies when in public if something happens. And you know what? And that was something that I had to learn. My husband would say, even when we were dating, he would say, you need to really pay attention to your surroundings. Like, that dude was really close to you and you didn't even see him, and it was just the little things. It was the little things that he would say that really added up, and it really made me start to pay attention to how people watch me in public, how people would interact with me. I saw, hey, Sunny Backyard Farmer, how you doing? I saw Carbon Q. What did you say? I saw you. 9mm or a blade always on me. Both. Both. Yeah. Ladies, learn to lift a Glock. That it was Vision Preparedness that said that. Ladies, learn to lift a Glock. Okay. And here's the thing, Vision Preparedness. That is always, even on the property, that is always, always, always on me, right? But here's the thing. If you're not paying attention, I saw this lady standing on the sidewalk. She was standing outside in her yard on the sidewalk. And then this animal, a fox, came up, and because she wasn't paying attention, she could have had that Glock on her. She could have had it on her, but she was not paying attention. So the animal was able to attack her because she wasn't aware. She was focused on this. She wasn't aware of what was happening around her. One of my friends took a picture of me when we were in the store one day, and I didn't even see her. And that taught me to start paying attention. I'm like, okay, you standing up there and you doing this, and you had to be trying to get that picture steady, and took a picture of me, and I never even saw you holding up your camera at me, right? Yeah. So I think our main thing is we just have to be paying attention to what's happening surrounding us. And somebody was saying something about I think that's what Carbon Q was saying, that she reads the energy in the room when she first walks in. Here's another thing. I loved, y'all know by now, if you've been here more than once, that I love The Walking Dead, right? I love that show. It was my Renaissance grandma, I love you. Exactly. They're going to have to do me in right where I am. Yes. Don't don't go down without a fight, okay? But reading the energy in the room when you walk in, it'll show you some stuff. If you just pay attention to what is happening, pay attention to who is in that room, pay attention to how the look on everybody's face. Now, if you're in a space where you have um say you have 20, 30 people in a space where you're going, right? And then you walk into the room and 29 of those people are smiling, they're laughing, they're talking to each other. And then you got that one over in the corner who's looking like they're ready to do something, or they got a look on their face that you can't quite read. What are you going to do? Are you going to just keep going into that environment and not watch them? We got to start watching. We got to start paying attention to people, because a lot of times their energy will tell you what's on their mind. It'll tell you what's happening. You got to be paying attention. Naughty Heathen says you don't need to be swole to use wrist control from Brazilian jiu-jitsu. I highly recommend. Thank you. Thank you for that. Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Ladies, he giving y'all some information. Not always getting amazing legs, wearing them booty shorts, get the muscle strong to kick Jesus in them. Yes. Listen, all of those skills, y'all better listen to these men. These men are on your side right here. They're gonna tell you how to fight. They're gonna tell you some stuff that you can do to get away. Them rifles is why my arthritis be acting up. G Mama Grows. Yeah, I imagine G Mama. So, if you know that it's gonna act up, fine, listen, I love the shotgun. That is like my favorite. And if I could walk around with the shotgun strapped to my back, I would walk around with that bad boy strapped to my back, because I love the shotgun. I love the feel of it. Like when I have that shotgun, I feel like, okay, this is going to do something. Like this is going to knock Jesus into somebody for real if they come up to you. Or, if you're out on the property, if you have land, and you need to be protecting yourself even on your land, because that's a real thing. There are animals all the time. We're catching animals all the time on the cameras, and there's all types of stuff out here. And you have to be really aware, even out in the country. You got to be aware. So, at least I say always have at least 2 weapons on you. Have one for your dominant hand and have one on the side of your non-dominant hand. Because when it comes to the fight for survival, you'll be surprised at how you can get ambidextrous real quick. You'll be real surprised at how you can get ambidextrous real quick. After having my first acupuncture, after having my first acupuncture treatment, it reminded me of the pressure points I learned when I used to study Aikido. Listen, all of that stuff, everything that you learn, everything that men are trying to teach you about surviving, Now, if they care for you, they're going to give some information to you. They're going to really try to put some stuff in you um, that can help you to survive those situations if wants to try to come for you. Hold on. I'm sorry. I hope I didn't do myself in. I hope I didn't do myself in. Hello, hello. I'm gonna put the I'm gonna put the link in the chat. And if one of you wants to come up, I'm just gonna have one at a time because like, too many people at a time is, it makes me kind of frazzled. So if anybody wants to jump in so that you can share some information. Vision preparedness just said, if it's in your purse, it is worthless. Let me highlight that. If it is in your purse, it is worthless. Okay? You gotta know, find you a good holster. The one I had is kind of worn out. And so I found myself in situations where stuff was happening. Things were happening, things were kind of getting a little bit out of control around me. And I'm just trying to get out of the store, and literally had to like slip my hand as I'm walking out, found myself slipping my hand down into my purse and like pushing the buggy with one hand and slipping my hand down into my purse with the other hand, right? Hey, Patricia Roberts, how are you doing? Yes, Patricia Roberts said, keep that head on swivel. Keep your head on swivel. Because let me tell you, things happen, like they happen so fast. And we're never ready. We're never ready for how things are going to go down. And so if you do the little things, and yeah, and this is normal thinking, right? This is normal thinking. This is not even talking about a situation where like, the mess hits the fan. And we're not even talking about those type of situations. Obviously, people are going to be very heightened in that type of situation. People's senses will be very, very heightened. But in everyday life, in everyday type of situations, what are you doing? What are you doing to help yourself? Are you doing anything that's going to really benefit you? Anything that's going to save you? Now, because right now, everywhere we go, we're being watched, right? There are cameras everywhere. Everywhere we go, like you're on camera somewhere, no matter where you are. Hey, GT Junior, if I didn't say hello. Erica, my flight family, hello, hello. How you doing? Um, folks, look up what a TI is, and you will learn a great deal of things about what Gigi is talking about. Trust me. I'm telling you. Oh, I see it. I see it. I see you, Miss Anita. I see you, Miss Anita, carrying 1 pound hand weights in my coat pocket. Mac all around while walking. There's so many things that we can do to make sure that we don't get taken to another location. Like, go ahead and get the fight in where the fight is happening. I've been watching a bunch of being drugged. So one of the things that my G Tribe does is that we send out information to each other. We send things to each other that can be very life changing, life beneficial, um, and save you from a whole lot of stuff. So one of the things that I was watching was that they're using drugs now because they realize that a lot of women are getting to the point where they are carrying now. And so they want to get you to the point where you're at your weakest, right? And you can make someone at their weakest. Low self-esteem it used to be where you could, like, grab a newspaper, pick it up off the ground, throw it off in the trash or the recycle bin or what have you. But not anymore, because guess what? They're soaking these things in a drug that can literally make you move slower, that can knock you out, and that can even kill you if you touch it, if you just touch it. And so I keep seeing these articles of women talking about, you know, they'll put money on your windshield, right? They'll put money on your windshield trying to make you go and touch the money that they have soaked in some sort of chemical or drug that will render you, you know, immobile, so that they can take you and do whatever that they want to do with you. And that's like when you have predators, this is what they do. This is what they do. They'll do things that will have you in a position where you're vulnerable so that they can take you, so that they can do whatever they want. And unfortunately, we live in a society, and it's not just here in our society. This is all over. This is all over the world, where women, if they can take advantage of you, and you have predators that are going to do everything in their power to try to get you in a vulnerable position, where they can take advantage of you. And so that's why this conversation is so important. You really have to be, I'll just read it, to have someone you consider your best friend do you in is really, really tragic. I don't tune in to stories with such evil now. I'm telling you, and I know the story that you're talking about, this young woman who, you know, need to watch your friends. You need to watch their demeanor around you. You need to watch their behavior around you. And if y'all tuned in last week, we talked the same thing, mean, jealousy, and I am back. Trying to see if I am back. The mannequin challenge. That's what was happening. So sorry. So sorry. So sorry. Having to use. Yeah, I'm back, babe. I'm back. I'm back. Yeah. Yeah, that's the one I'm using. Yeah. Y'all know I'm off grid. So, stuff happens. Things happen. Drop a 9 in chat. Let me know if I'm back. Let me know if I'm back. Y'all something else. Max syndrome. Hey, Audrey. Barbara B in Florida. How you doing? All right. Okay. AJ's green thumb. What's up, my brother? How you doing? How you doing? 3 times 3, naughty heathen. Not 5 times 4. Y'all hanging in there. I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm glad. Y'all are too much, man. Y'all are too much. But yeah, y'all, I'm off grid. So, hey, everything, I don't have the luxury of electricity. I don't have that luxury. So, I have to depend on iPhones and things. And thankfully, I got a hotspot that I can use. And most of the time, the hotspot is good. Most of the time is doing good. But as you can see, every now and again, just dipping in briefly. Hope all are having a great start of the week. It has been great, AJ. Thank you so much. I appreciate you dipping in. Thank you, thank you. Urban Gardening Chronicles. Hello. I didn't comment, but I saw your live stream. I saw your live stream, Urban Gardening Chronicles. Um, that was creepy. Let me just say, Urban Gardening Chronicles. That was creepy. You talking about the neighbor with their camera pointed into your backyard. That's some creepy stuff right there. Midnight Green, how are you doing? Hello, hello. so, so here's the thing. Like I was saying earlier, we have so many cameras all over the place. Everywhere we go. As a matter of fact, I got a ticket. I got a ticket in the mail when I went to Georgia. I got a ticket in the mail because apparently I was going too fast around a school. Now, at the time that I was going through, school was definitely not in. Well, school, let me see, was it a Saturday? I don't know. But there was no flashing lights for no school zone. There was nothing, but they still gave me a ticket. And then they blamed it on the school. It was the school camera. Like, how is this thing even working when it's not school hours? How is this thing even working? That camera shouldn't even be allowed, but I got to pay this doggone ticket. Got to pay this ticket. Anyway, I ain't gonna get off on that. I have 3 brothers. Miss Amani, no, Grammy's Journal said I have 3 brothers I had to deal with growing up, and now they're over 6 feet. And once in a while, they will test me to check and see if I'm paying attention. So grateful for that. Yeah, I had that one crazy one. Woo! It was the crazy one that really made it where I knew how to do things and take care of myself and go up against the guys when I was little, because I was like, I was a little bitty something. And so he wanted to make sure though that I could protect myself, because he would see the guys, he would talk to the guys, he had friends, he had all of those people. And then he would see, he would see, naughty heathen, you are naughty. You are naughty. But he would see the way his friends would look at me and all of this stuff, and he would hear some of the stuff that they had to say. And so he was like, not my little sister. My little sister ain't gonna go for it. And listen, he didn't take it easy. He made sure that I was able to at least have a fighting chance. He didn't give me, he didn't give it, doggone it, the fruit flies, y'all. They get on my nerves. But he didn't take it easy on me because he wanted to make sure that I was going to be able to have a fighting chance. So yeah, thank goodness for those brothers. Thank goodness for those brothers, especially the crazy ones. Whew. Especially those. Thank goodness for them. Erica, my fly family, how you doing? Take care. Take care. Vision preparedness. I'd moon the F out of that camera. Like you on OnlyFans, not a heathen. London has the most in the world. I miss that. I miss what London have the most in the world. Dang it. Tickets in the mail. Yeah, they got me. They got me. They got me. I'm like, no. And now they're using females to distract you. And they also use children to distract you. I can remember, I don't remember who said it, but I can remember someone saying that they are leaving children, they're leaving babies outside of women's apartments and waiting for them to open the door because they know automatically if a woman hears a baby crying, like we're looking like, what's going on? Like, who is that? Like, whose baby is crying? Because that's just in us. We're trying to figure out whose baby is this crying. And then if it sounds like it's coming from outside your door, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Now that you know better, you're going to call 911, right? Or, you know, if you got somebody there with me that can have your back when you open that door, they can have something staring them in the face if they try to rush you. Then, okay, let's see what's going on with this baby. Let's try to get this baby. The cameras, you can't hide anything. I know. Natural Diva says, body language does not lie. Watch a person by looking them in the face and eyes, but watch how they move. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, my brother taught me to fight, just not beat him up. Yeah. Yeah, they don't want you to get as bad as them, but they definitely want to make sure that that you can take care of yourself, that you can do something for yourself. Eco Neighbor, hey, Eco Neighbor, I didn't know you were in the audience. Yes, I did, but anyway. Hey, Eco Neighbor. Trust me, Gigi is stronger than the average man. Listen, that stuff came from the crazy brother. That stuff came from, you know, being an athlete in early life. It's like some stuff that you learn, you don't lose some of those skills. You don't lose, you know, how you move. You don't lose a whole lot of stuff. And then, you know, once you get to a point where you're a certain level of strong, or you just know how to maneuver, you know how men move. Like, the dude used to slam me, okay? When we played basketball, he was why I was so good in basketball, you know, and other people were like, dang, like, how you get like that? Yeah, he was the reason, because I don't know if y'all saw the video of this man. His little baby came up, you know, with the little Nerf basketball, and he was gonna dunk it, and that man was like, boom, get that out of here. It was a baby. Like, the baby had to be like 1 year old for real. But the man slammed that ball and was like, not up in here. You ain't bringing that in here. And I thought that was just hilarious because it took me back to my childhood when my brother literally would do that to me. He would literally like slam that ball in my face because he was like, nobody's gonna be able to touch you. None of those girls gonna be able to touch you. Hey, eco neighbor. I had mad cardio when I joined the army from running from the police. You are too much. You are too much. Not even too much. It's stuff like crying babies and stuff that make us all desensitized to the world. That also makes us go to other realities, like the I don't even know what that is. Metaverse and media. So, oh, the metaverse. The metaverse. Gotcha. I'm with you, James. The metaverse. Yes, 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 yes. So there are a lot of things that will take our attention away. And so if it's just like when my kids were little, every time someone would say mommy, I was like, huh, because I was so used to every few minutes somebody saying mommy, 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 and it would trigger me. Now, not so much. I learned how to block them out when I was little. My family hated when I did that. They hated when I would do that. But yeah, brother was tough, and I really appreciated it as I got into middle school and high school, because people start to like challenge you a little bit once you get to a certain I guess a certain age. They start to really like physically challenge you. Like, you have little bullies or whatever when you're little, but most of the time when they're that little, they really didn't like physically challenge you. It might be, a little push or whatever. But when you get to middle school, now you got a whole nother set of problems because you got all of these hormones running around, and you're going to start to need those early life skills that the brothers gave you. You're going to start to need to know how to really defend yourself in those type of situations. Rambo Greenhand says every fall toughen you up and make you stronger. And it did. And it really did. I used to love when Eco and I were dating. I used to love to wrestle with him, right? And because, it was like, yeah, I know, because I was used to this craziness with my brothers. It was weird. But I used to love to wrestle with him because I thought he was adorable, and we had to play a little bit. And so I was like, let's wrestle, let's fight. Let's fight. And it took a couple of times, for him to pin me down and be like, look, cut it out. I am stronger than you. I don't care how strong you think you are. I am stronger than you still, lady. I got my name for a reason. Plenty of butt whipping on doing crazy stuff. My body had injuries all over. Good gracious. Good gracious. Miss Imani said, it took me a long time to stop reacting to mama. Our baby is 30 years old. Yeah, you got neighbor, you remember? You remember when we used to play like that? We used to play fight all the time. Sovereign, and off grid. Hello, how you doing, sis? Good to see you in the chat. Eco, the full force family. I can't wrestle my kids. I can't wrestle my kids, or our Roddy will try to kill me. Yes, you need one of those. You need somebody to take care of the babies. I'm looking forward to getting a dog out here on the homestead, a dog or two, because we have coyotes, y'all, and werewolves. Coyotes and werewolves. So we're gonna need at least two of them to kind of handle things. But when you are at a point where you're really, really confident, that's when you should be the most afraid. Because a lot of us, we're like, oh yeah, I carry every day. I got this Glock, I got this, I got that, you know, so I ain't scared of nothing. You're probably gonna be the first one to get taken out if you're not scared of anything, because that makes you where you're not situationally aware of what is happening around you. Um, oh, waiting on the grand to make sure they grow up with doggo. Werewolves are real. I knew it. I'm telling you, Carmen Q, they real. Definitely need guard dog tears. Absolutely. Absolutely. In the meantime, yeah, Smith, Wesson, all of those peeps. All of those peeps gonna have to do in the meantime. But and that's how we have to be. We have to make sure that like our senses are heightened, because when we are just going on about our daily life, there are people who are literally watching us, there are people who are videoing us, there are people who are looking for opportunities to catch you in a situation where they know that you're not paying attention. Because if I can get you where you're not paying attention, then it's going to be much, much easier for me to grab you, right? And to do whatever I want to do with you. So we got to be paying attention. We got to make sure that first we are situationally aware. How many people in the audience have taken some sort of class, whether it's a gun safety class, which, listen, I highly, highly, highly recommend taking the gun safety classes. It's going to help you if you can find a smaller group or somebody that is very into like their classes. Like, look at the reviews, because some people, they're just going to talk to you. Like in Florida, they'll talk to you because you have to have like 4 hours. So they'll talk to you for 3 hours, and then they'll have 50 people lined up to go shoot a gun twice, and you're really not getting the real good information that you need to be getting. So GT Junior, you've taken the weapon safety class. That is amazing. Oh, eco neighbor. I wish you were in some light so that you could talk about that. I wish you were in some light. Oh my gosh. I was Top Gun on the M250 cab. Ooh, 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 ooh. I want to shoot that before I leave this earth. I want to shoot a 50 cal. I really do. I honestly do. Cheryl Faulkner said, I took self-defense, and my dad took me to the range. He was a sheriff. Listen, that's a good upbringing. That's a good upbringing, because they're not going to let you just not understand about the safety of a gun. We have a lot of friends who are law enforcement officers, and so we know that they're not going to allow you to just not know. They're not going to allow you to not know. Eco neighbor, you want to talk to them about that? Come on. Come on. Y'all tell Eco Neighbor to come in. Where you coming, Eco Neighbor? Come in. I've taken, yes, it was very fun. It was very fun. I thought it was really fun too. You old heathen. I thought it was really fun. I really did. I enjoyed myself. I've taken the active shooter and situational awareness classes. Looking to take gun safety soon. Good for you, Audrey. Awesome. 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 That's amazing. Come on in, Eco. Come on in. Sit beside me. I did material art gun laws. are crazy here. So I turn my body into a weapon. I, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, because all the time you're not going to be able to reach for that. So you're going to have some sort of something in you. You got to have something in you that's going to be able to help you in the meantime. So if you're right-handed and you have your weapon, that weapon on your right side, what if somebody grabs that right side? Then what are you doing? You know what I mean? What are you doing? Um, a boot style course. Oh Lord, Jesus. Hey, worry less with Jess. How you doing? How are you doing? Good to see you in the chat. Where are you at? There you go. Hey sis, how you doing? I've taken some classes and I try to get a small group of ladies to go to the range at least quarterly. Yeah, yeah, even that is good. Even going to getting with some people that you can go to the range with, or you can go out into the country with. If you have somebody who has some land that you all can go and shoot on. You want to come in? You all dressed up and everything. Man, listen, come on. All you need is a shirt. That's all you need. The people were like, Eco, come on.
I got a G-string on.
Let me see it.
How y'all doing, fam?
So that's one of the things that was on my list to talk about was the way that you go around.
Yeah. So whether you're in a neighborhood, whether you are in the country, whether you are visiting, like in a hotel, whatever, I travel a lot. So one of the things I like to do is I like to arrive at my location a little bit early. And when I arrive, I like to just kind of ride around and find like the stores, the hangouts, and then I don't choose a certain time. I just try to, like, if you're dealing with your home, your neighborhood, right around your neighborhood, there should be no reason why within a 2 or 3 block radius you should get lost in your neighborhood. There should be no excuse for that. And some people have lived in their neighborhood for years and they still don't know their own neighborhood. That's unexcusable. Find your neighborhood, ride around, get lost on purpose. Don't ask for help. Don't use Google. Don't use maps. Don't use Siri. None of that. Just get lost and then find your way. The beautiful thing about that, you will not be pressured about, like, I got to be here at a certain time. Just take some time out of the day and just find your way. Go on a dead end road. If it say dead end, go on the dead end road. Turn around. Look at the trees. Try to find like different things that stand out. Like try to find things that are just big. If it's a mailbox, if it's a certain tree, a certain traffic light that blinks, a light that's out in your neighborhood, or if you're in the country, look for a tractor in the yard, an old tractor. Look for certain animals. The reason why I'm saying that because a lot of your crime and a lot of the things that you encounter is right there in your own neighborhood. Most of the people that I should say sometimes and a lot of the times your biggest threats are the people that's around you. It's not your people, strangers that's coming in, that's coming from a foreign place. Most of your opposition comes from friends, families, associates. So I know we don't like it, but it's the truth. Whether you like it or not. Even when you come to a family reunion, people out that situation. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, look, especially people you ain't know, you never met, and check out the people that you do know. Because, when I was a child, I was like considered a certain person. Then I come on as a adult, people look at you different. And understand opposition comes in different ways and be prepared. When they come different ways, believe it. When people, what my baby say? When they show you who they are,
Mm-hmm.
believe them.
Mm-hmm.
It took me a while because, I was brought up to forgive, give this big old, like, let people show you, give them multiple reasons not to trust them. No, when they come to you and they show you who they are, believe them.
Mm.
Because I found in my life, my personal life, that most of my tragedy came from me trusting people that showed me who they were and I ain't believe them. So if you want somebody to like come into your life, they should work for it.
Mm.
If they ain't working for it, then you ask them, why are you here? Then when you ask them why you here, it could be just a transactional relationship. And nothing wrong with a transactional relationship. Sometimes it could be doing business together, it could be an exchange together, it could be whatever, a hookup, whatever. Celebrate that situation and move on. And don't try to stretch it on. I think a lot of times we are connected with people, we kind of bonded with each other, but every relationship is not meant to be a long term. Some relationships will be just for a moment in time. Embrace it, love it, but then at the same time, move on. It's
Mm.
all it's just that simple. If you try to elongate that situation, that's when you get problems, you get issues. You shouldn't have to force relationships in life. Relationships should not be forced. I got multiple mentors. I said this multiple times. One mentor may be for money, one mentor may be for creativity, another mentor may be for experience. Break up the people in your life and understand that some people just there to make you smile, make you laugh. That's all they there for. Some people just there to listen to you. They don't say nothing, they don't interrupt, they listen, and then they let you spill it out. And then some people are there to give you guidance. And it's okay to have multiple people in your life. Um, I didn't want to take over your life, but I just want to tell you I
No,
love you.
no,
I appreciate you.
I wanted you to because I knew you had this information. So, um, one of the things that GT Junior said up on the screen, I need to study the land at night.
Yeah.
Now, that's one thing that I can tell you that this man does.
you know, you got to get out your comfort zone first of all. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's like this land we still don't know. We have not been on this land for a year. Actually, we haven't been on this land for more than 2 seasons, right?
Mm-hmm.
Summer, fall. We get into the winter, right? I don't know this land. The best way to know your area, be spontaneous. Sometimes intuition tells you to get up. You ain't heard nothing, ain't nothing bang, ain't nothing got up at night. And I'm talking to my bros. I know Gigi. She got a lot of beautiful queens that support her, but she got some kings too. And to the kings, why you waking up in the middle of the night? Ain't nothing bamming or nothing like that. Get up. Get up. Try not to wake the fam, but just walk around. Just examine your area. Sometimes it ain't about you figuring out what's going on, it's about you being observant. And not only that, set alarm. And I met a sheriff. The sheriff, like, hey, how you doing?
And that should actually have us back. Y'all, if we back, if we are back, drop some nines in the chat. Drop some nines in the chat if we're back. We had to switch to another hotspot. So
Yeah.
okay. I see the nines rolling in the
Mine?
chat. Yeah, I'm on my phone too.
Okay.
So yeah, I see it. Thank you guys for hanging. Y'all some real ones.
For real. Can I ask y'all a question? Can somebody come in into the chat support Gigi, y'all? Gigi be dropping them gems. I appreciate Gigi. She motivating me. Most of those live at fives, I have to commute, and she just takes me through the trip. So I appreciate y'all supporting Gigi. I appreciate everything. Y'all come in. Let's have some conversation. Let's talk. Let's talk a little bit. Y'all come in. Did you drop the link?
So, um,
Drop the link.
okay. I mean, if you wanna,
Yeah, it's whosoever will. It's a
if
whosoever
you
will.
wanna.
But
So she said we didn't hear anything after getting up when you get up at night.
so to our kings out there, we got some kings in the chat. We got some kings in the live. Um, it's a reason why at 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 1:30, you've been kind of sleeping good, sound, no dreams, no nothing. It's a reason why you are geared to wake up, because I think sometimes we lost that connection with nature. We lost that connection with our male roles. If and I'm not trying to challenge our kings, y'all kings, y'all holding everything down. Y'all got cameras, y'all got even bodyguards. You got a lot of different stuff going on. But I'm just trying to share something with you from nature. In nature, before we had all this technology and all that kind of stuff, it's a reason why you don't sleep as much as most women sleep. And I'm not talking about nothing on gender or race, nothing like that. Please be patient with me, and let's be grown men about this situation. It's a reason why you wake up. If you hear a thud or a little small, slight thing, or even if you don't hear nothing, what I want to encourage you, try getting up, brothers. Kings, get up. Get up and try not to wake the fam. Take your flashlight, take whatever you need to take, and just observe. All I'm saying, just observe. Just observe your environment. And I think you're going to be surprised. It may not be often, but every now and then, I think you will be surprised what you will encounter.
Tell them about when we were in the neighborhood.
It's too many times. I have encountered multiple things. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
and
my
I'm
gosh.
still grieving the fact that I didn't catch the photography thief. But anyway,
Yeah,
um,
a lot of the things.
which time you talking about? I gotta sneak.
When
Bear with me because I'm kind of a little bit on the well.
they when bless you,
Excuse me.
bless you. When you were standing right there, and the guy was there, and you were
Oh,
standing
okay.
there, and
So let me lay out the house, right? We're no longer there. It's all good. So we adults, we live on the bottom floor. The kids got their own world up top. They got their own bathroom. They got their own lounge. They got everything. At the bottom, all we need is the kitchen, the bathroom, and the living room, right? One night we were sleeping, and I'm always watching this neighbor because I put motion to take the lights come on. But I've been watching the neighbor kind of like, I see he got a flashlight shining around, but my motion tick the lights don't come on. And I'm trying to figure this thing out. I'm like, okay, by 11, 12, maybe 1 o'clock, he walks out. And he has a flashlight. He's just going around his house, lighting it up. I through my observation noticed that he collect lizards. What he doing with them lizards? I mean, it's not my they it's not my business to get up into what he doing. But one night in particular, someone woke me up, and I said, "Okay, go to the living room." I went to the living room and everything, and I took a peek through the blinds, and I'm looking, and this dude did a matrix move, right? The timing was impeccable. What I'm trying to tell you, people like, you got great intuition, you got nothing. No, I listen to what nature tells me. The more you listen to what nature tells you and don't worry about what people say, the more you can be in line with nature guiding you with information. So I got up and I looked through the blind. Some told me look through that blind. I looked through the blind. This dude, he did like this motion, right? And he slid around and he was on my property, right? We was in the city. It's not that much room. It's maybe like 10 feet between our properties, right? between our driveway and my house. So he did his thing, right? And what's up, GT? Man, thank you for being brave enough to come on in, man. Much love to you. Much love to you, baby. But I'm gonna finish this. I'm gonna let GT have this. So he slid around, did the Matrix thing, right? And I'm watching him, and like I held my composure. I'm peeking through the blinds, and this guy got a cup in his hand, and he's sneaking onto my property. And then I hit the window pane. I said, "Get your done," but I didn't say that. Out my yard, right? And he jumped. He dropped the cup and he ran off to his yard, right? And so I walked out the back doors, right? I opened up the doors, French doors, and I confronted him. And I said, I can't trust you. You are sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. And he, of course, he's from a different country, but that does not mean nothing. But I wanted to let him know that even though I may not speak his language, I want him to know simple words. I say, you're sneaky. I can't trust you. And I slowed it down. You better not come back in my yard. This the same guy I shared my pomelos with, my lemons with. I mean, all kinds of stuff. My neighbor. Matter of fact, he got his home broken into. I was the one that filled out the sheriff report and everything. And this same dude comes sneaking onto my property. Whether he was getting lizards or whatever, you were sneaky. It started with lizards and then it multiplied. His I don't know, was his mother-in-law, his mother, she stripped my hibiscus, all the blooms. And my daughter saw her picking them. Like I said, she made her teas. We could have shared teas. If we would have talked, we could have shared everything.
Like, we wanted some tea.
Yeah.
We wanted some tea too.
Ain't nothing wrong with hibiscus tea. I grew the plant to get some hibiscus tea. But she ain't just take one of the following ones, because typically what I do, I take the one off because those are the most ripest. But she waited till they all bloom and she stripped the whole plant. So all I'm saying, GT, and to my fam, watch and be observant and be vigilant. What's the word?
Vigilant.
Diligent.
Vigilant.
Vigilant.
Yeah, you got it, babe. You got it.
Vigilant.
Show off. You got it.
Vigilant. Be ready at all times and just get yourself. Man, I'm getting seasick right now, GT.
Okay, I know.
He brushing in them waves. I'm getting a little motion sickness and all that. I think he's in a car or something like that. But between the waves and the motion sickness, I'm finna pull out. I'm finna sit back in the chat. GT, thank you for coming in. We need some more people come in. Y'all show some love, man. Show some love.
Thank you for coming in, Eco Neighbor. You, GT Junior, what's up, man?
What's good with you?
Get your thing. Okay. Take your friend with you.
Yeah. I gotta go walk the dog.
You gotta walk the dog. Okay. GT Junior, what's been going on, dude?
Nothing much. Just since we moved into that house, I have been eyeing the area.
Yeah. Okay.
Just to get a idea of what we're working with, because it's all new to me. Let me turn this down. It's all new to me. I've never lived in this area. I don't know any of the people on my whole street. It just it's different from what I grew up with. It's different from what I've experienced since I've been in Alaska. So, summertime, me and my wife, that's what we did. We rode around 20 minutes this way, 20 minutes east side. We jump on the highway. We'll take the little side streets. Me and my son, we were supposed to do some walking during the wintertime with our little cleats on our shoes, because we live on a hill.
Okay.
But it didn't go exactly according to plan. But we plan to do that sometime this week possibly. But yeah. Yeah, because our biggest obstacle here in Alaska that I've noticed is light and heat. Those are going to be the biggest ones that we're going to be faced with, because it's so dark here. So it would be advisable if I can go and take walks during the dark, so that I can have just a little bit more familiar of, the area. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, okay. And so GT, for your wife, like what type of conversations are y'all having, about her safety, out in the neighborhood, because you're in a new neighborhood, you're in a new area, obviously you don't know a lot of people yet, probably. If your neighborhoods, would be anything like our neighborhoods, like a lot of people are very to themselves, they go on about their life, they do their thing, they're not trying to come over for cookouts and all of that type of stuff. They're just really like living their life, they're working class, they're in their own zone. So but as you heard Eco said, those people will also make time to get into some foolishness, right? So what type of conversations? Because we always having conversations about, what I need to be paying attention to in order to stay safe. So what do you and your wife discuss about that type of thing, about her safety?
Pay attention to the cameras. I have cameras all over the home. My wife doesn't go outside much. We're homebody, so we go in the house, we see an alert on the phone, we look, we see what it is. Um, if somebody breaks in or she hears a commotion, she knows the first thing that she does is she calls the people, and then she calls. It just matters the situation, but she needs to call the people, and if she needs to put the alert out because of the type of alarm we have, then she do that. But she also knows what type of defense weapon she needs to um acquire at that time, because there's different levels of what you need to, they have different things so that you can, if there's a crowd, then this, if you're, if it's one person, all this type of stuff. So we have conversations like that. And there's been a person that's been parked for the last 3 days. They've been parked over there by the mailbox, and I've been telling her, I was like, keep an eye over there. So we just have general conversation just to be aware of the neighborhood, because we have people walking all day long, and my camera picks up a lot of that. So yeah.
Okay, okay. And so in a situation like that, where you do have somebody who is just sitting there, they're just sitting around, like, or like, do you all call law enforcement? I know Alaska is probably a little bit different, and you probably get to like handle situations, like how do things work?
Well, we don't call because we don't get in other people's business, but sometimes we figure, okay, well, maybe they're doing something. There's a lot of um marijuana is legal here, so people will just stop and they'll just do what they do or whatever. So it's one of those things. But it's been the same car for the last 3 days. So I haven't called law enforcement. I just tell her, be cautious. Um, and that's about it. Maybe I should. I'm listening to y'all though. Y'all are giving me some different outlooks because y'all been practicing this for a long time, I figure.
Yeah, yeah, because it's just like he was saying, our daughter was actually sitting outside in the driveway in her car, and she texted me and said, um you know they always come to mama, right? They always have to be like, mama, 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 and I'm like, your daddy is right there. But they always been that way since they were little. But she texted me and said, why is this lady um sneaking over onto our property? And I was like, what lady? So, I kind of geared up real quick, went to the door, and was like, I was peeking out the door. And so she was like, she already gone now. Like, it happened so fast that if I were not sitting outside in the car, I would have even missed it. And that was when they were stealing the balloons. Like, who does that? But this just goes to show you that in times of normalcy, if people are acting like this, if they're doing this type of stuff in times of normalcy, just imagine if a little something goes wrong in this country. And most people want to, believe that most people are inherently good. I don't know. I don't know about that. And it's like a lot of people's behavior really like proves my point all the time.
Hmm.
Like they really prove my point all the time. And so just the simple things, just the little simple things, when you see people doing just weird stuff, when people are doing weird stuff and ain't nothing even going on, you already know that it's going to go to a whole different level when when things do start to really look crazy out there. So, but anything
Yeah,
else you want to share with the people?
yeah. One of the reasons why we are civil with each other is because we can provide for ourselves. Once that is not a factor, once we have to struggle for that, or it's unattainable, then we become uncivil with each other. We have to remember that we are in a we're not in we don't have third world problems, so we don't see the evilness as much in people because we can provide our basic needs. Yeah.
Agreed. Agreed. Because, and that's what we were saying when we decided that we were going to move out to the country. It's like when you have people who are around you and they're growing their stuff, they're growing a lot of their own food. um they are, very independent. They are those type of people that, you're not gonna have to worry about as much until stuff runs out. When things start running out, then it's like all bets are off. Because even me, if it comes down to us starving or us going to find something or take something or what have you, then guess what we're going to do rather than starve? So it's not like, you know, well, we are so good that we won't ever do this and we won't ever do that. No, it's really, we're just one lack of a meal away from being the same type of people who will go on somebody else's property, and take the simplest of things if we feel like we need it. So being I really hope, and I'm hoping for everybody that it doesn't get to that level, that it really doesn't get to the point where we feel like we have to do that. But in the meantime, we have to seriously like be aware. We have to be aware of who's around. And even before we got out here, we went through and crossing snakes and all type of stuff so that we could put up cameras and things so that we can know like what type of movement is happening, if any, on this property before we even got out here, because we wanted to be aware of anybody who might see a little something happening on your property and then decide that they're going to start coming on. And literally that's what happened. Once people start to see a little movement and they see that somebody is paying some interest into, this piece of property or whatever, then they start coming on. If they realize that you're not there, especially, then they start to kind of move on. They start to come on to your property and cross into your space. Just like when the guy walked up that night, you know, and was like, he's looking for his cousin. Well, we played the looking for cousin game back in the 1990s. Like we played that back in the 90s. So we already knew like he was casing our land, to see what he could get or what have you. So you have to always, not believe just because you're out in the country, just because you're out in the middle of nowhere, that you're just going to be safe and you can put your weapons down and you don't have anything to worry about. Like, you have to always be aware of what's happening around you. You have to be aware of who's watching you. Like, I stood there one day, I was making a video, and you can't really see me from the road, but I can see you. So I'm making a video, and then I saw this car, and it literally came onto the side of the street where our mailbox is, right? And it was just moving. It was like 2 miles per hour. And I just stood there and watched. I didn't know, like, if they were just trying to get a view back here, if they were just trying to see what they could see, or if they were about to go into the mailbox. That's how slow the car slowed down, almost like, they would possibly go into the mailbox or something like that. So just because you're in the country does not mean that you're safe, and you have to stop being aware of what's happening. And just like I was telling y'all earlier, and I think I got thrown off, where this guy was at the store, and he was just being real weird. It was just weird. Okay, that's my best way of describing it. I couldn't tell if he was just like on something, but he had this just maniacal laugh once he got to his car. And I don't know if somebody was in the car or what, but he was so slow to get to the car, and the way that he was moving, it was almost like, I don't know, like something was really, really off about him. And so, my instincts was like, just wait. And so I just sat there and I waited until he got in the car, and then I'm hearing him just laughing like it didn't feel right. And when something does not feel right to you, just know that it's not right. When it does not feel right, it's really not right. And so I just waited, and I'm listening, and I'm like, what is he laughing at like that? It was just so strange. And so once he started to kind of drive off, then I was like, okay, now I can get out of the car, and went into the store. But there's always something happening with people and their behavior. There's always something happening. And like today, when I was coming back, I saw a guy walking with he had the bag cut out like a one of the black trash bags, the big black trash bags.
Mm-hmm.
He had the arms cut out. He cut the neck out, and he cut the arms out, and he made himself a short sleeve shirt.
Yeah.
And that's what he wanted to walk around in, I guess. Like, and as I said, there's a lot of people who are not getting the mental health help that they need. But today is cold. Like, why wouldn't you just, like, put it over your head and keep your arms in? You know what I mean? So it was like, it just didn't make any sense. It really just didn't make any sense. Juicing with Jay said, OMG, I was just eating fruit off my neighbor's trees. They don't eat them. It's on my fence line. Now, Juicing with Jay, that's a whole nother matter. That's a whole nother matter. They on your fence line. Anything that's over the fence, okay?
Fair
It's
game.
mine. It's fair game, ain't it? Because if you didn't want me to have it, you would cut it, right?
Yes.
You would cut it if you didn't want me to have it. So yeah, that's some good stuff. That's some good stuff, and I'm glad that you all are paying attention. And that comment that you made about making sure that you knew what's going on at night also was like of importance to you, because I'm always telling them about how my husband is. I said he's outside with the werewolves, y'all. He's out there.
That's
He's
what you was
always,
talking about. Okay.
yeah, he's outside with the werewolves. Like, it is nighttime, and he just, he loves being outside, but he out there with the werewolves, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna be the one to go out there at nighttime. Like, I literally try to make it back home before it gets dark, you
Mhm.
know, so that I'm not having to like come into contact with anything who, you know, might be able to do me harm. Because, like, if it got more feet than me, and all of that stuff, I'm automatically like, I feel like I'm at a disadvantage. Plus, his teeth
Right.
are sharper than mine. I
Yep.
automatically feel like I'm at a disadvantage, in a situation like that. So, yeah. Garbage bag. I mean, hold on. I have bows in money, but I'm nowhere near as proficient with them as I am with battle axes or firearms. I got you. Miss Imani said garbage bag poncho or coverall for something else. I don't know, but it I just thought it was so weird, and my sister was in the car with me, and we were looking at each other like, what? Like, that didn't make any sense, because it's cool here. It's cool here. So I can imagine having to put on a bag to like keep some heat in, because it will, it'll keep some heat up against your body. Um but then he cut it like a muscle shirt, like, the deep cut, like a muscle shirt. So
Oh
it just
wow.
kind of made me think that like something was kind of off about him, just because of the technique that he used. But it was really weird to see somebody walking down the streets of Tallahassee with, the garbage bag on, and he done cut it out to where it's like he's not really trying to keep his arms warm or anything. But hey, then again, maybe his chest was the only thing that needed to be protected. But I digress. From center of earth to sky, if it's on your property, it's yours. Hey, Mike's Chaotic Garden. How you doing? Yep. If it's on there, if it's over there, it's yours. Have you really lived if you don't get a knife kill? Jesus, not a heathen. Hey, daughter of the Most High, how you doing? I was once starting some seed outside in the front yard. My neighbor thought I was growing cannabis. Wow, wouldn't you be so lucky? As to have those seeds, wouldn't you be?
Oh. Hmm?
But GT, thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming up to share some stuff with the people. Like, you
All
have
right.
you're in Alaska. I can't even imagine that. And then talking about going outside, right? In the dark with the moose. Like, what's the okay, GT, I'm gonna let you go. But tell me, what do you feel like is the biggest animal threat to you in your area?
Uh, maybe a bear. Maybe a bear. But that's about that's about all. The moose longs you. Now, when I grew up, I used to deliver paper when I was like 16 years old. So
Mm-hmm.
on my routes or whatever, I would just go and deliver or whatever. But I remember one time I was delivering a paper and I came around the corner and the moose was like really, really close. Like
Wow.
if it would have breathed, I would have sniffed its breath,
Oh, wow.
But I'm not scared like that of moose because they will kick you to sleep. But
Yeah.
they didn't give me that vibe. But the bear is something where I seen it on my front porch and it was like, oh wow, they're really out here like that. So
Wow.
that's yeah. And then we got bald eagles, but they're a little bit down the way. But yeah, we got a lot of wildlife here, and you can see it on a daily basis if you choose to. Yeah.
Yeah. Eco neighbor said people. Those are more of a threat than the animals. Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess
The
so.
people. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, the people. What I've been doing is because I have those chickens now. I've been taking eggs to my neighbors and stuff. Just a couple of them that live around, so that I'm building a rapport with them, so they know that hey, I got it if you need it. Because
Mm-hmm.
when they were collecting apples, some of my neighbors they have gardens and everything, and they stop and we have conversations and things of that nature. But yes, I take them a few eggs just to make sure that everything is good or whatever. But yeah, but I got one neighbor. She keeps coming in. She keeps and it's like my camera was facing that way and I wanted to say something to her, but I was like, no, she's old and she just being nosy. But she didn't never come in my yard. She'll like stop right there at the fence line, and there's no fence right there, and she'll just look. And every time she come outside, she be looking for me. And
Oh,
sometimes I'm too busy, so I just go, hey there, and just keep it pushing or whatever. But then she'll sometimes I go out there at night. I forget what I'm going out there for. I go out there and her dog start barking or whatever,
mhm.
and then I look over there and then she's waving already, and I'm like, okay. And then we have a conversation, but she knows it, and she lonely. Yeah, it's a lot, but
Yeah.
yeah,
I used to just call those people nosy, but like I I really like those people now because it's like when you're growing up and you're a youngster, you're like, Miss Anderson is just so nosy. She needs to leave, stay out of our business. But those were the same people, those nosy ones back then. They were the same people who, if anybody came up to your house that did not belong there, they would be like, "Oh, they're not home. I tell them you came
yep,
by." But
yep,
they would like shoo people off. They would shoo people on, let them know that people were watching. It was like an unofficial neighborhood watch, right?
yes, yes, yes,
Like nobody needed to hunt anybody down or any nonsense like that. But it was literally like an unofficial neighborhood watch with those people who we used to call nosy, because they
yes.
made
So
sure
true,
that if,
so
if
true.
you were out of town, my mom would always let our neighbor know directly across the street, we're gonna be out of town. Um, Watch the house for me. And believe you me, she watched and she would let us know everybody that came. And she spoke to all of them, letting them know that we were not there. So they didn't need to be over there any longer than they needed to. Drop some off at the screen door and keep it rolling. um, Miss Imani Anita Newsom has a question for you, and she says, "What was on the front porch that attracted the bear?"
That fish emotion, that 5'11". That 5'11". I cannot. I love the 5'11", but it is a beast around there. We had a swarm of gnats or flies or whatever about 3 years, probably like 5 years ago, with the 5'11". The 5'11" is real. So I had that on the porch, and I had it in a bucket, and I guess that was what brought him to my area. And
Okay,
but I done
yeah,
had a moose,
we
a
can't do none of
rabbit,
that.
and a bear in my yard. The moose came and he was playing in the water next door. I mean, it was like a
Wow.
few feet away. He was playing in the water, just getting his drink on. It was kind of hot there. It was like 73 degrees. That's hot for a lab. That's real nice, real warm for us. So,
Oh,
but yeah,
really?
it smelt that fish and it was like, I want it. I want it. So he came up in our yard. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I did that nonsense. Brought those fish heads out here. My
I
brother-in-law
remember.
had the big old catfish, the huge catfish,
Yeah, you were
and
supposed to get some lime or something, right?
I had GT. This is the thing. I had the lime. I still got the lime, and I forgot
Hmm,
to put
hmm.
the lime. And I was just
Oh,
like, this makes no sense. This makes no sense. But I was in such a hurry to get it buried, and then I was trying to cover like the area that um I had sat the container that was close to the house. I had kind of wasted a little fish juice, and so I was
ooh,
focused on trying to cover that. And because I don't want nothing coming close up here, to the RV. So and I was literally just rushing, trying to get it in the ground, and I totally forgot. He said, "Fucking Animal Planet." Yes, GT got Animal Planet going on. Tame the moose and ride it to work, says Mike's category.
They big. They real big, Mike. Them some big old jokers, man. For real.
I
I
know
want to
they
see.
are.
I haven't seen anybody say anything about growing moose. I mean, growing in moose droppings. And we had some. Yes, I did name the video. I did. Yeah, that was last year. But this new moose, I don't know what to call them. But yeah, I don't know what kind of nutrients actually come from moose droppings. But I've wondered that, and I've tried to look it up, but maybe I didn't ask Google the right questions or whatever. But I wondered that.
Okay, okay. Hey, Girl with Hudson, how you doing? Girl with Hudson saying hey to everybody. But if a woman out there wants to come up, if one of y'all wants to come up and talk a little bit about being a woman in this society, some of the things that you do to like keep yourself safe out here in these streets. It's great that we can have access to these weapons, and being in the state of Florida, like they like, go ahead, take the class, but get your stuff. Go ahead, GT.
No, I was gonna say, since maybe I can drop down and let someone else come up. I know you like to do one at a time.
Yeah. So, um, if somebody else wants to come up, GT, thank you so much. I appreciate you. So, if I'll let one more person come up before I leave for this evening, but it would be nice if it's a lady and you want to share some things that you've learned as well. It can be a man. It can be a man. I'm cool with it being a man. Yeah, moose droppings. He said moose droppings. Is there that many moose droppings? I imagine they are huge. Eco neighbor, you don't think they would be huge? I would imagine that the size of a moose, that them droppings. Ooh, I imagine. I imagine. Naughty Heathen said he needs some eye candy up here. So nunchucks and a loincloth will scare anyone away. They're going to be like, look, that is a psycho right there. That is a psycho right there. But but yeah, just make sure that you're taking the notes right. Yeah. They are nuggets. What you mean nuggets? Like nuggets are small, right? Are they small like that? Just act crazier than your enemy. That's the key. I got you. I got you. But that's a strategy, and what we need is strategy. We really do. We need strategy in a lot of cases. So bulldozer size nuggets. Naughty is on it. Yeah, he's on it. All right, Snails, how are you doing? Lots of small nuggets. Okay, sort of like a deer then. Like small nuggets. Okay. Folks learn to trap to protect what's yours. That's good. That's really good. That's really good. You sure that's not rabbit nuggets, JC Jr.? Yeah. So much. There's just so much to learn, and just really, we don't want to do like a marathon or whatever. They sell them in the gift shops. GT, I'll let you go too soon. They sell them in the gift shop. I'm trying to figure out what this gift shop is smelling like because they selling the nuggets. You talking about the moose stuff in the gift shops? That's what you're talking about? Wow. And he said yes. Yeah, no. I don't know though. I guess we go and buy other stuff, right? Well, that's Walmart, Alaska. That definitely wouldn't be our area. But you know what? I could probably see that. I could probably see that happening because we're buying um other types of poo, right? To go into our gardens. They put some kind of coating on them and sell them. Wow. Okay. Well, I want to know, like, if you were to purchase some, if you were to purchase some, I want to know how it works in the garden. We gardeners, this is what we want to know. Inquiring minds want to know what's going on with that in the garden. But yeah, you're right. You're right, Mike. We buy cow poop. So yeah, I imagine it's the same thing. It's the same thing. I've never seen a moose in person. So to me, it's like, wow. Okay. Okay. And bat poop, they sell them as souvenirs. I thought I thought we were gardening with this. So we ain't gardening with it. We're gonna sit it on our counter, like we're gonna sit it on the shelf. I don't buy cow poop. You might buy cow poop. Yeah, we be buying, this composted stuff. I guess we do. I guess we do. Well, that's like, are you gonna make a necklace? I'm trying to understand, like, as souvenirs. So you're saying for the people who decide that they're going to visit Alaska, and when they go to Alaska, they want to make sure that they got some poop. Okay, wow. You gonna post a picture? All right. Oof. So I don't want a poop desk toy. I'll pluck mushrooms out of cow poop though. Yeah, yeah. What you gonna do with the mushrooms? I'm curious. I'm just curious. I just want to know. Yeah, yeah. But anyway, guys, thank you all for coming in, and thank you, DT, for popping up here with me for a few minutes. And Eco Neighbor, thank you for coming in and talking to the people. We need to take a DNA on the fertilizer. Yeah, that would be cool to know what all is up in there because there's no telling. Listen, these people, all they care about is that bottom line. They care about that profit. So there's no telling if you were to DNA test some of that. No telling what you would find off in there. I mean, DNA test some of the meat. DNA test the meat. See what you find. See if you find human DNA versus plant based stuff or animal DNA. That might be cool. That might be cool. Yeah. But anyway, thank y'all. I appreciate y'all for coming in and hanging out tonight. There is I just got a notification. Okay. Okay. It's a pleasure. Love y'all's channel. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm gonna have to try to get Eco Neighbor up more often. We don't do that anymore, Eco Neighbor. So y'all tell Eco Neighbor that we need to do more lives together like we used to do. Okay? Okay. Thank you. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys being here. Better yet, make your own. Then you will know what you have. You right about that, James. You absolutely right about that. But you all have a wonderful evening. I really appreciate you all being here again another Tuesday live at 5. Hi, Lisa Williams. Wait a minute. Hold up, y'all. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. My Cali bro took the challenge. My Cali bro took the challenge. What's up, Cali bro?
What's going on, Gigi? What's going on, Eco? What's going on, chat? How's everybody doing?
How you doing? How you doing?
One day at a time. That's all you can do, right?
That's it. That's it. That's it. So what you got to add to the conversation, brother?
Well, just kind of jumped in here to just see kind of what was going on, especially dealing with the ladies and safety and protection. Uh, I think my second giveaway was around the time that I was at the gun show, and there was a young lady there that was selling stun guns. So I was like, you know what, this is a perfect opportunity for me to get some stun guns for, the giveaway, because I noticed that a lot of, the subscribers at the time were women. And I'm like, what can we do? What can I do, to put inside my grand prize box? And so I think inside one of the I bought two stun guns that day, and I wanted to get more, but at the gun show it was way cheaper than it was online. So I had actually purchased them at the gun show. I think they were like $8 a piece. And then when I got home and I tried to, get some more to put into the boxes, they were like $12 to $15 a piece. So I ended up with two of
Right.
them. So I actually gave one to my
Okay.
wife and I put one in the giveaway box. But, it is very important that situational awareness for our women, and even if we're not around them, they should have some means of protection for themselves. So that was always something that I always thought about, as far as what can we do to to protect our dragon fruit. I mean, our protect
Man, much love to you, brother. Much love to you.
eco.
You came on. I hadn't seen much love to you,
Yes.
my brother.
Yeah. So it's always kind of been at the forefront, like, we're gardeners, we're preppers, we're a whole bunch of different things. But sometimes on our pages we only show one aspect of what we do. And and I've said before in my chats that it's about evolving. You can't pigeonhole yourself to just one thing. Even though my name is Juicing with Jay, I do a plethora of other things. So prepping is a little lightweight thing that I had been doing for a long time. People in my family thought I was crazy,
Yeah.
until that thing happened where we all had to shut down, and I was the one with the MREs and all the extra food and all that, the things that we talk about on a daily basis. So protection, like California laws are really, really crazy. And this is the one of the reasons why I haven't jumped into other lines of defense, because you defend yourself and then you find yourself defending yourself in a court of law with a corrupt system that is put in place, uh, especially here in California. So if you could just get somebody off of you and you can flee, I think that's sometimes the better option, is just to get away and flee and do what you need to do to protect yourself, instead of like, fighting in court because, you defended yourself, and all the X, Y's, and Z's and the legalities of you defending yourself as a human being, which is, another conversation for another day. But a stun gun, women, get yourself a stun gun if you can, and that's another, it's called layers of protection, layers of security. If you can't get to one thing, you can sure get to another. So that's kind of like what I wanted to throw in there, as far as that is concerned.
Yeah, I think a lot of us take for granted the um the freedoms that we have, particularly when you live in a state like Florida. You know, like they're going to encourage you to protect yourself. So can you tell us, the people that don't know, like I don't really know anything about California. I've never been there. But the one thing that I have heard is that they're very, very strict on gun laws. So, like, are you all able to get guns? Like, how does it work?
Well, I still, I stay with my tools, but once again, this is the community and the life that I lived before, I jumped onto YouTube and said, there's a community of people like me. But the thing about it is that we have, especially here in California, there are so many laws put in place that it's hard for, law abiding citizens such as myself to really protect ourselves, because there are so many laws that are put in place. You can't do this, you can't do that, you could only have so many amount of bullets, you can't have a grip, you can't have, everything they say that we can't have is what we need to actually hold our weapon the right way, load our weapons the right way, do the type of things that we have to do to protect ourselves. And criminals are, I mean, you guys have seen the news, you know uh these young men, I don't care if they're rappers or whatever, whatever way they feel that they have to provide income for themselves, they're still lives. And these guys are being robbed and murdered and shot here in LA. So the criminals are not abiding by the same laws that law abiding citizens are abiding by, which to me is absolutely crazy that I have to have all these different types of specs on my particular tools, but the random criminal don't have to have those same type of restrictions. And it's absolutely ludicrous. And that's another reason why there's another, mass exodus out of California, because of, it's hard for us to protect ourselves. I'm one law abiding citizen. That means for every one law abiding citizen, there's 20 to 30 unlaw abiding citizens ready to take what we have. It's so bad out here that you can't even walk around with a necklace. You feel what do you feel to your life for a necklace? So now it's kind of like tuck your necklace and just go about life, just meagerly or humbly, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
it's a crazy situation to be in. So yeah, California gun laws are it's weird. It's just weird, especially now that we're being broadcast all across the country of like, this is what's happening. I don't care if it's your political reference, but it's just something that's happening. You know, crime is crime. Times are getting hard. The pandemic hit a lot of people hard. People who were once grimy are even grimier, and it's just a situation that you have to deal with.
Yeah, Midnight Green has a really good point. I thought that USCCA provides legal services as long as you purchase their coverage. So, have you considered, having the insurance that goes along with it, where they do provide you with some level of legal services if you have to use your weapon?
Well, I don't have any of those services. Mine's is strictly for home defense. I do not travel, with it, with in vehicles and things of that nature. The thing about defense is that sometimes you have to sit behind their bars while your defense is going on, and I choose not to sit behind anybody's bars. So if you do come to my little homestead, you know it is what it is. you know
Mm-hmm.
uh, that's what I have for my home, and I'm not afraid to use it. So that's the type of stance that I take. But just moving around in LA, I'm in a suburb of LA, but I still have to travel through LA. Matter of fact, one of the guys that recently passed away uh, was literally a block away from one of my rental properties. So it got to the point where I had to stop picking up rent in that area. And it's not that it's a bad neighborhood. It's the neighborhood is a good neighborhood, but the surrounding area, it's in the it's in the process of being gentrified, but it's not fully gentrified. It's not the type of place where you want to wear jewelry. It's not the type of place where you want to look flashy. I drive a Jeep Wrangler, and when I drive that over there, I know it's flashy, even though it's not flashy. It's not the typical car that would be in that area. So it got to the point for me where I just had to stop picking up rents over there, and I basically let my manager take care of everything that has to do with what's going on over there right now. So it's that type of environment that we're in. So uh, insurance or no insurance, the laws were never really written for people that kind of look like me and you, and
Mm-hmm.
especially here in California. And that's just a fact. That's just the fact, the fact of what it is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so what type of I'll ask you the same question that I asked GT. So what type of conversations and what type of things are you giving to your wife in order to keep her, and your little precious baby
Oh,
girl,
well,
try to keep them safe?
yeah. Well, the basically we know where things are in the house, and we have two sets of cameras. We have hardwired cameras, we have the Wi-Fi cameras, and we know where everything is. We've always talked about bug out bags, and it's so crazy because we live near the mountains. And when I purchased my vehicle, it wasn't, you know for me, it wasn't a status symbol or anything like that. It was like, we can get to the mountains in a Jeep Wrangler. Yeah, it looks cool and everybody likes it and blah, 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 X, Y's, and Z's. But yeah, no, we bought this so that we could go camping, so we could get to the mountains and things of that nature. That was my main thinking of why I even purchased that. So we have bug out bags. They know where everything is. So when it's time for things to pop off, we know what to do over here. So yeah, I'm I'm the crazy one in the family. No one believes it until it happens. And my wife is trained. Let's just say that
Okay.
she's she's good. She's legit.
Good,
100%
good,
legit. Yeah.
good. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear it because
Yeah.
we stay training over here.
Oh yeah. 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 My
We stay training over here, so I'm glad to hear it.
yeah, shout out to the veterans. She's legit.
Yeah. Okay.
uh,
Okay.
uh,
Enough said.
yeah.
Enough said.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that it makes a world of difference though. And one thing that when we first went to the class, um, the one thing that happened to me was in that closed in environment. I don't know why, but when the first person started to shoot, I was like, oh, like I had the earphones, I had the ear protection on.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but there was something about being in that closed environment. And it's like I was the second person in line. And so I'm standing close enough to where, when the shells start to fly, like one hit me. And so,
A hot one.
like it's hot. and so, okay, GT, okay, I'm gonna bring you back up in just a minute. Um, so even though I had been like, my dad was a gun enthusiast. So, I had been around guns all my life, but actually taking the gun myself or being that close to somebody shooting a gun as powerful as what we were shooting for that class that day, it still like it shook me a little bit. And so even for the children, like when you start to teach them, when you start to teach the children how to handle the guns, to use the guns, and just the different safety things that are involved with properly using the gun, they're like, ear protection or not, like when you first fire a weapon, or if you're standing close to somebody firing a weapon, like it'll rock you a little bit, it'll shake you a little bit. So that's why I'm really like, I really would love that if you anywhere around me like have taken a class, have like take some sort of class to help you in order to get accustomed to knowing how very loud it is. It's like my weapon, my everyday carry is one level of loud, and then eco neighbor everyday carry is a whole nother matter, you
That's
know.
and that's true. But even loud is one thing, but even the recoil that each weapon have is something else also. So
Yeah, it's a
yeah,
whole nother matter. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I can handle my weapon pretty well, and getting to know um whatever weapon that I tend to have, get to know that weapon very well. And then it's like, get him another kind, and then he's just like, when he fires this thing, I'm just like, good Lord.
hmm
I don't even want it.
yeah,
Like, I don't want that one. I'll stick with what I have. So it's different. All of them are very different. And then, there's also the longer weapons, that you can
yep,
actually use. We have them from, the small, practically no recoil, 22 type of things and rifles, to the larger little
yeah, no, and I get it.
something more deliberate.
Yeah,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
I got the, yeah, I definitely get it, and I started off long, you know, and that's just where I started, and everybody's like, oh, that's what you're starting with. I said, yeah, it's the, why not start with it? These are the things that they're trying to ban, and these are the things that everyday citizens are already walking around with. So you're not going to go take a pen to a gun knife. It's, you just can't do it. So
Mm-hmm.
even before I got mine, I started my collection a little bit before the pandemic started, and you could see how everybody went crazy. Now everybody went out and just started buying up everything, but
Mm-hmm.
this is a part of being prepared. You want to be proactive instead of reactive. There are a lot of reactive people out there, and I'm sitting back watching the TV screen like, see, this is what I was telling you about. This is why we have to get A, B's, and C's. This is why I do X, Y's, and Z's, because when the time comes, we're not going to be sitting out in line trying to do something that we should have done a long time ago. So,
And one of the things that I always say, Jay, is that the criminals are not going to wait for you to get ready.
oh no, they're
You know what I mean? They're just not gonna wait for you to get ready, and be like, wait a minute, I need to get my gun too, or I need to get my knife too. They're not going to wait on you to get ready. Like, when they come at you, either you're ready or you're not.
yeah,
You know.
their mindset should be like what our mindset is. It's always go. You don't have you Hey, this is what we're doing. This is what we practice for. This is what we are prepping for. So it's go, go, go. Criminals don't shut their mind off. They're thinking about the next scheme, the next scam, the next this, the next that. Just like us, we should be thinking about what we're going to prep next, what we should be recycling out of what we already have. There's levels to it. And if you're not prepared, then you're going to get caught with your pants down. Know your environment, know your surrounding. And these are things that should, like Eco said, you have to tune into your animal instinct, know your surrounding, know what's around you, know what's going on. So if we lose sight of our own personal animal instinct, yeah, we're gonna be that gazelle at the end of the pack, you know. So
And I also think, as women, a lot of us, like, don't have that. We ignore that, and then we are programmed to be in a position where, like Eco said too, you gotta forgive, you gotta this, and you gotta that. You don't be mean, don't be rude, don't this and that. Listen, there is a time and a place for everything. you
hmm
know I'll be nice and polite with you in a nice, polite environment. But if you're coming to my personal space, then you're going to get a different side. And I think
exactly.
a lot of women are just like, oh, we can't act like that. Oh, yes, we can.
Yes, you can.
Yes, we
Yeah, no, definitely.
absolutely can.
The brother
And that's a
Malcolm X.
part of protecting yourself.
No, and it's the truth. Malcolm said that you have to speak the language that the person is talking to you with. So if they're talking to you with aggression, you have to talk with aggression. If they're speaking in love, you have to speak in love. Because if you're speaking in love and they're speaking in aggression, you're not communicating the same language. You know, it, it's not a ignorance begets more ignorance type of situation. But if you're trying to communicate with somebody, you have to communicate in the way that they are known to communicate in. Because there are a lot of people out here that don't know about love. They haven't been treated and greeted with love. So you have to adapt your communication. You have to adapt your communication. And it's a sad thing that good people have to adapt to the negativities in the world, but it's just a part of what we have to do to navigate through the world, because everybody is not our friend. We could sit here all day and smile in each other's face and do all that other type of stuff, but at the end of the day, you never know who's really plotting on you, and it's not even just people on the YouTube streets. Sometimes it's the people in your own family, it's and it's facts. Some people live in such a fantasy world that they don't believe that the person closest to them or the people who have been hanging around them are the ones that are going to stab them in the back. Look at the young lady that flew out to Cabo. She flew out with a so-called bunch of friends, and look at what they did to her under the umbrella of friendship. So it's kind of like, wow, like we really, especially as we get older, there is something about good people and aging and having wisdom. These are the days that you have to cut off the negativity. You have to really screen the people that you're around, because everybody is not around you for your best interests. And that's
Mhm.
just the way of the land. Everybody is not around you for your best interests. You could be as good as you want, you could be as humble as a lark, but there are certain people who will try to infiltrate you and uh see how they can break you down just for being a good person.
Mhm. Mhm.
So you have to know your four squares. You have to protect, your mind, body, and soul
Mhm.
against all, evildoers and wickedness. It's just that type of situation.
And that is a fact. And I don't know if you caught my live stream from last week. Give me just a second. Let me grab my little battery pack here, so I don't have things dying on me in the middle of conversation. But I don't know if you caught last week talking the chat where I was talking about loyalty and more about disloyalty, right?
Mm, mm,
And so you have to, if you are in a position where you're in a different mindset than the person or people, just like this young lady was. It was obvious that she was having fun, she was having a good time. And looking at some of the videos where she was talking to these so-called friends, and it's like she was laughing, like she was happy, she was. And then it's like when she went into this room on one video with them where they they weren't they weren't laughing back. You know what I
mm.
mean? It was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it was so apparent. But if you're when you are situationally aware of how people change, it will make you make those different moves. It'll make you be like, okay, what was that all about?
Yeah.
It'll spark your curiosity, and
Exactly.
that
Exactly.
instinct will start to kick in at that point if you're then paying attention to these friends, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
um
But and it's so crazy because we quickly forget. These stories go viral, and then we quickly forget, right? Because 2 months from now, we probably won't be talking about this young lady. Uh, the A similar situation happened with another young lady that they found in the freezer about 2 years ago.
I remember.
And these are the thing. Like for me, I kind of like suffer from like I call it a urban post traumatic stress syndrome
Mm-hmm.
because these occurrences are not normal. But you know they're starting to happen so much that we start to normalize it, and it's not normal. So every time something like that happens, it just triggers. Okay, I remember this happening to the young lady in the freezer, or the young man that they found rolled up in the gym locker room, in the carpet, or the what was it, the curtains or whatever it was that they have in the gym, and you start to see it. So we know that without a shadow of a doubt, these people are around people that they so-called trusted. Or even the young lady who went to the slumber party, and with all her colleagues, and she was the only one that ended up dead, so-called fell over the banister because she had a glass of wine. So these are stories that I could just rattle off just like that, and we soon forget. So it is about situational awareness, but it's also remembering what happened in the past when we don't have that situational awareness. Who are we around? Who are we around? Friends or foes? And
Mm-hmm.
to me, that's what it really boils down to. Who are we around? We have to check our four corners, and we always have to. When, like Money Mike said, on Friday, where were your antennas? Because especially if you're around a person like me or Eco, or someone in this community, that we always have our radar scanning. We're always like, hey, what's this or what's that? Or we're questioning things that we don't perceive as normal, right? So where were your antennas? Where were your antennas when X, Y's, and Z's was happening? Or it's up to us to point out, hey, that behavior from that person doesn't seem normal. Hey, that don't look normal. That don't look normal. So at the end of the day, you don't want to be in a position where it's like, I told you so. That's the worst thing that you want to be in, is a position where I told you so. I know, but blah blah blah. No, 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 no. It's not about I know, but no, because this is what I was trying to bring to you beforehand, not afterhand.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You are so right. You're so right. And this is why we have to, we gotta be ready. So we ain't
Yeah,
trying to get ready when when the crap is going down. you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
you,
Definitely,
you
most
got you
definitely.
gotta always, like, there was literally nothing going on except me going to the store, and then I just saw this dude that just something was off about him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So you have to always be paying attention. And I know that myself, I get really caught up in, because I'm getting emails all day. I'm getting different Instagram, Facebook, whatever, all day. And I'm constantly like, you know what I'm saying? Just responding to people and that sort of thing. And it can take your attention away. It can put you in a position where you're not paying attention. And so I have to remember, particularly when I'm alone, I have to remember, um, just put it down for a minute. Put it down for a
yeah,
minute
yeah.
until we get back to moving.
Most definitely, most
Yeah.
definitely. I know that we have some things, me and you planned in the future as far as a meat and potato type of situation. So I kind of don't want to give everything away, but I want to segue into this, and then I'm gonna jump off. Right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
there was there was a situation where we were me, my wife, and my daughter were at a function, and someone was like, "Oh, what's wrong with your husband? He's so uptight. He doesn't even want to drink, or this, blah 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 blah." And so she said to them, like, "My husband doesn't drink when we're around. He needs to be on point at all times. Period." That shut that
Period.
conversation all the way down, because that's how I am.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have a good time. I'm gonna be the eagle eye. I'm surveying the area, and that's just what it is.
Yeah.
So because I was able to tell her, hey, this is not how I live my life. Safety is always first with me. You know, she was able to take that message to whoever had a question about why I wasn't partaking. And it is what it is. So it's always going to be safety first with me, and that's how we should always look at the situation. You know, we all have our time here on this earth. The last thing that we want to do is leave earlier than what we're the Most High has designed us to do. You know,
Yeah.
so we have a mission. Let's fulfill our mission. Then we bow out gracefully, not by no random nonsense going on because our antennas wasn't up. We
Yeah.
just have to be mindful of our environment. So
Agreed.
anyway, GG Eco Chat. It was a pleasure. I'm supposed to be actually resting and healing. I don't know why I'm in the
Okay.
YouTube streets. So
Okay. Well, thank
I'm,
you. I appreciate you coming up. Thank you so
all
much.
right. Peace
Listen,
and
take
blessings
care
to
of yourself,
everyone.
okay?
Yes, yes. Peace and blessings.
All right. Peace to you, brother. All right, DT, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you, brother. All right. There you go.
What's up, y'all? I'm on my walk. Y'all know I do my walks every day,
Yeah,
so this
yeah, brother.
is what I do. But um, we was having a conversation in the chat about the USCCA and naughty Haven or something like that. He said that the pen's been winning, and that is true, and that's because we're divided. So we're gonna have separation through that. But when an incident happens, legally you're gonna need some help, and paying your little $50, $60 a month gives you a fighting chance after you've had to defend yourself. So that's why I have the insurance. So when something happens, I know nothing, and they're gonna, do their job. I'm gonna let them do their job, but that's gonna give me $1 million, $2 million of coverage as far as getting the best lawyers and all that. So I support it because that's all I know. I know that when it happens, I'm already gonna be frazzled because I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to take life, but I love my family and I love myself.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's why I have the insurance. The insurance is gonna, give me a little bit more peace of mind, knowing that, you know, my battle is not gonna be as hard to fight, even if it's even if they can clearly see I have a legal team, quote unquote, that's gonna actually handle that. So that
Mm-hmm.
was basically what I wanted to provide um to the chat because we was having conversation about the insurance after the incident. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And it's just like if you have insurance on your car, you don't know if you're gonna have an accident or not, but it's likely that you might. Like there's a possibility that you might. And if you do, you're probably better off for it than not. Because if you do wreck somebody's car, you injure somebody, then guess what's coming out of your own pocket? And if you don't have it, then guess what? You're in a mess. You're in a mess on your own. So, like,
Yeah,
I
I don't want
prefer.
to. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I don't want my family to, you know, have to deal with the the issues that I put them in because I had to defend ourselves. Now money is being drained. Now I can't go to work the same way I did. There's going to be a lot of stress they're going to be put on my family. So if I can help my family by paying $50 a month, yeah, jail ain't fun. I'm gonna tell you that now. That's straight up and down. It's not fun. I would tell you something else, but jail ain't fun. Trust me.
Yeah.
But sorry about that.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I bet it's not. That's why I try not to go there. I try to be out of there. Thank you. The Fun Reading Club is. Thank you. Thank you so much. And yeah, I get it. I get it. Naughty Heathen. I get it. Um, and they could do a lot of things, but if it makes you feel that if it makes you feel more protected, then definitely do it. But if you feel like Naughty Heathen and then you like, I'm not giving them my $50, $60 per month, and they might they might in the future use that against me, then don't do it. Don't do it. But you have
I
to
don't
do
understand that.
what you feel works better for you. He sees something different. He sees something different, saying that the insurance might be having that insurance available might be used against you in some form of legislation in the future. But
Oh,
that can happen, just like an accident can possibly happen. Like,
yeah.
who knows what the future is going to hold, but you have to do what you feel like in the moment is the best choice for you and your family. He said he's been to jail like 15 times.
Who that?
Not
Kind
a
of
he.
different from prison, man. Remember that.
He said jail is different from prison. I believe you. I
It's
believe
serious. Like
you. I believe you.
I'm, eh, he won. I'm just saying, for
He
my
said,
family, I
yeah.
have to secure them, which is I know that the type of person that I am, I'm gonna shy away from problems because I have a responsibility. I love me more than I love anybody else.
Hmm.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have that insurance. So if it pop off, I have something that's gonna pop back with them. And I'm talking about legally because once it happens, you're gonna face, you know, the civil and all these other repercussions. So why not have a dream team that's gonna help you out? That's what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna protect mine the best way I can. Don't put my family in distress. I got life insurance and all that to make sure that I'm taken care of, and that's that's what it is. I love me too much to put more on them. So yeah, that's just me being me.
I got you. I got you. Well, GT, I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for popping
Thank
back
you.
in and
Thank you.
giving your perspective on that as well. Thank you so much.
All right, then I'll holler at you. Appreciate
All
you.
right.
Have a
All
good one.
right.
Yeah.
All right. All right, y'all. It's been a long night, and we've been having fun, but I'm just gonna stop it here. That's the way to go. That's the way to go, GT. There was a guy that's an instructor got shot at on camera, and the insurance made the difference in his case. There you go. So, um, thank you very much for being here. I appreciate you all. I'm gonna go and enjoy my husband. I've been with y'all long enough. All right, y'all take care of yourselves. Take care of your family, and thank you all for participating in this conversation. And I thought it was a really important conversation that a lot of people need to be thinking about. So I'm glad that you all also enjoyed, being a part of the conversation. So be well, and I will see you guys the next time. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you for those who were in the backdrop watching. Thank you for you all as well. I really appreciate it. And I will chat with you all next week, live at 5, and maybe sometimes during the week as well. All right, y'all. Take care of yourselves. And remember to keep on growing, people. Keep on growing. And that prayer still works. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.